This is the Intercontinental Broadcasting Corporation. Sa bagong Pilipinas.
Good evening. This is 13 News.
Let's get into the headlines right now. On his fifth State of the Nation address, President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. vows anti-corruption campaign would not spare even its own family, announcing that multiple charges are set to be filed against former House Speaker Romualdez.
Masakit man sa akin ito. Ngunit kailangan nating gawin ang tama. Hindi ako pangulo ng aking pamilya. Ako ay pangulo ng Pilipinas at ang tungkulin ko ay sa inyo, ang aking mga kapwa Pilipino.
Tonight, former House Speaker Martin Romualdez says he respects the president's pronouncement but insists he is innocent.
Here's good news. Lower electricity bills await Filipino consumers as President Marcos Jr. orders amending the APIRA law to remove systems loss charges.
Filipinos do not yield. President Marcos vows government will do all that is necessary to uphold the country's sovereignty and rights in the West Philippine Sea.
And Filipinos tuned in, with many saying they are satisfied with the president's SONA.
All these and more here on 13 News. President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. unveiled a future-ready Philippines in his fifth SONA. From big projects in the transport and technology sector to a nationwide disaster network, efforts that grant lands to Filipino farmers, a rocket into outer space, to the massive Pac Silica project, Marcos pitched a bold leap into innovation and sovereignty. IBC correspondent Ezra Abad has more on the president's speech today.
The SONA spotlight extended beyond receipts and accomplishments and into bigger and bigger things to come. President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. laid out a sweeping agenda for technology, transport, disaster resilience, agriculture, applied science, and engineering. First off is the Pac Silica, a U.S.-led initiative that will create a massive technological ecosystem that will have artificial intelligence at its core. Part of the initiative is the creation of the Luzon Economic Corridor, which will serve as an advanced manufacturing and logistics center in global AI and technology value chain.
It will bring quality jobs to our people, accelerate our industrial competitiveness, and revitalize our economy. As a strategic component of the Luzon Economic Corridor, the hub will be an advanced manufacturing and logistics center in the global AI and technology value chain.
In the transport sector, 12 stations are set to open next year as an extension of MRT-7, while bus rapid transit systems in Cebu and Ilocos Norte are underway. He also pushed for electric vehicles extending zero tariffs until 2028 and introducing EV ferries and buses. Marcos highlighted disaster preparedness, unveiling a nationwide disaster network with 15 hubs, 76 spokes, and 919 last-mile facilities. The government ensures relief delivery within 24 hours after calamities. In agriculture, the administration distributed 400,000 land titles covering 500,000 hectares, while canceling agrarian debts to ease the burden on farmers. He also emphasized the upcoming BARM parliamentary elections as a milestone for democratic participation in Muslim Mindanao, and in a historic move.
A sounding rocket launch test is slated for next year. Yes, we are going to launch a rocket into space.
The Philippines is set to reach new heights in outer space as the president announced the country's first spaceport in Cagayan, where a rocket launched is set for 2027, signaling the country's entry into the global space race. Ezra Abad, IBC News.
Lower electricity bills await Filipinos after President Marcos Jr. ordered to remove system loss charge from electrical bills during this year's State of the Nation address. Juan Antonio reports.
President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr.'s State of the Nation address drew positive reaction from Filipinos after he laid out future plan for his remaining term. One of the top priorities, amending the EPIRA law to remove system loss charge from electric bills. This was welcomed by many, especially for those who have paying huge amount because the system loss charge.
Sa kuryente yun, yung ang laki kasi na system loss kahit kapay. Exhalation lang kami pero yung nga po yung system loss napakalaki ko talaga.
Some praised the SONA, highlighting restored dignity and integrity as Filipinos. The President's announcement of prioritizing oil and gas exploration will strengthen Philippine resources in the future.
Yung dignidad natin, yung integrity natin bilang Filipino, tumaas. Kaya nagustuhan ko siya kasi yung oil exploration tsaka yung gas. So, ginagawa na ngayon. So, ang mabe-benefits nito, tayo in the future at yung mga susunod na generation.
Both Minda and Maria Elena joined the watch party organized by the supporters of the President in front of the Sandigan Bayan. Organizers estimate the crowd at 20,000. Meanwhile, after the joint session of the Congress, the Quezon City LGU immediately removed barricades to ease traffic flow. The MMDA also set up a mobile command center to keep Commonwealth traffic orderly and gatherings peaceful. The center used CCTV monitors in Metro Manila to track the situation in the rally zone areas. Juan Antonio, IBC News.
Meanwhile, the fifth State of the Nation address of President Marcos Jr. was generally peaceful and orderly, according to the Philippine National Police. This despite two improvised explosive devices were found at the Senate and the Department of Justice. IBC News correspondent Bea Peniza has more.
The Philippine National Police is now investigating whether the two improvised explosive device or IED incidents recently discovered at the Senate and the entrance of the Department of Justice are connected. According to the National Capital Region Police Office, authorities recovered a 9-volt battery, a blasting cap, and a brown powdery substance believed to be a component of an explosive device at the Senate compound at around 7:30 in the morning. Meanwhile, an explosion was reported at the entrance of the Department of Justice at around 12:17 a.m. The incidents are now under investigation as police authorities work to identify those responsible and determine their motive.
Nag-iimbestiga ang mga kapulisan and other law enforcement units, agencies para matukoy natin kung sino may kagagawa nito at ano ang dahilan, motibo.
PNP Chief Police General Jose Melencio Nartates Jr. said the possibility of intimidation or threats as a motive is being considered. During his inspection earlier today, Nartates rejected claims that there was an overkill in police deployment for the President's State of the Nation address. More than 24,000 police personnel were deployed to secure the event.
Kukunti pa nga lang. We are 230,000 nationwide. We can utilize all these resources to ensure public safety and as well as peace and order. Ano ba mas maganda? Security or peace and order na konti or maximum ang security?
For now, the PNP said the National Capital Region remains generally peaceful with various groups continuing their scheduled activities under heightened security. For SONA 2026 of the Integrated State Media, Bea Peniza, IBC News.
From Batasang Pambansa Complex to barangay halls, ordinary Filipinos tuned in to the President's State of the Nation address, with the speech addressing even the most basic problems in the economy today. Simon Ong of Congress TV has the story.
Barangay officials of Old Balara in Quezon City set up an LED screen in Discovered Court for residents to watch the State of the Nation address of President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. They have been doing this for years, and today was simple. No extravagant decorations and no food or snacks, in line with President's simple but dignified SONA. And as the watch party went on, the claps grew louder and the people stood prouder. Because every promise in SONA became a shared hope of every Filipino.
Nasisiyan ako at marami siyang tinalakay. Higit sa lahat, sa mga mahihirap, nakatuon yung kanyang sinasabi.
Residents were satisfied with the President's promises and accomplishments.
Natuwa ako dun sa pagbaba ng kuryente. Yun doon talaga ako nagpalakpak. And then dun sa zero balance ba sa mga bills ng hospital. Totoo yun. Nagsi-zero balance talaga doon ng mga nagpapa-hospital sa ngayon. Then yun sa PhilHealth din, sa yakap. Gusto ko yun kasi sa mga kagaya ng mga members namin PWD, talagang nagagamit nila yung mga ganong privilege.
Ang edukasyon, number 1 yun kasi sa kamukha naming mahihirap na tao, isa sa aming mga pangarap, ang mga anak natin ay makapagtapos sa pag-aaral.
Tulong pinansyal po niya sa 4Ps, lalo po yung pandagdag na 2K, yung saplip, yun po yung pinakaano kasi totally di pa ako 4Ps. Pero may mga kamag-anak po kasi akong 4Ps na naging malaking tulong sa kanila yun.
Many likewise stood firmly with President Marcos on the country's fight for the West Philippine Sea, joining him in defending the sovereignty and rights of the Philippines.
Yung gaya ng soberenya natin, yung gaya ng inaano ng China, yung ating West Philippine Sea, talagang naninindigan siya na ipaglalaban natin kung ano yung talagang atin.
Dapat naman talaga ang bansa natin ay panindigan naman talaga natin na hindi ang Philippines sa China, kundi sa atin talaga yun. At dapat ipaglaban natin ang karapatan natin bilang Pilipino. Huwag tayong pasisiil sa kanila.
All this proves that the State of the Nation address of President Marcos Jr. carried home the hopes of the Filipino people for a better future for the nation. For SONA 2026 of the Integrated State Media, Simon Ong, Congress TV.
The House of Representatives has opened its second regular session today, with lawmakers vowing to fast-track the legislative priorities outlined by President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. in his State of the Nation address. IBC News correspondent Earl Tobias has the report.
The House of Representatives formally opened its second regular session, with House Speaker Faustino Bojidi III declaring the chamber ready to act on the legislative priorities laid out by President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. in his State of the Nation address. House leaders said the president's message was clear, that ordinary Filipinos must feel the impact of the administration's priority measures, including broader tax relief and the removal of systems loss charges from electricity consumers' bills. Speaker D also called on lawmakers to continue their commitment to delivering meaningful legislation.
Nakapagpasa tayo ng 163 bills, kabilang ang 26 LEDAC priority bills. Patuloy kaming magsusumikap araw-araw upang maibalik ang inyong pong tiwala.
D, together with House Majority Leader Sandro Marcos, is also pushing to prioritize a bill that would prohibit children aged 13 and below from using social media. He said the proposal is a response to the growing number of alarming incidents involving minors, which he believes are linked to their exposure to harmful online content. Meanwhile, Majority Leader Marcos said the House is ahead of schedule in advancing its legislative priorities. He also said the chamber is now preparing for the detailed deliberations on the proposed 2027 National Expenditure Program, which is expected to be submitted to Congress next month.
Well, as you know, the budget is the single and most important piece of legislation for both the House and the Senate. And you are right, we are expecting the NEP to be turned over sometime next month. Hopefully, not too late.
The younger Marcos expressed confidence that the House's legislative agenda will move forward swiftly under its coordination with the Senate, now led by Senate President Win Gatchalian. Earl Tobias, IBC News.
Malacanang has downplayed the absence of several minority senators on President Ferdinand Marcos Jr.'s fifth State of the Nation address, saying their decision to skip would not affect the administration. Malacanang said it respects the decision of some in the minority bloc, Senators Cayetano, Amy Marcos, Padilla, and Legarda, who chose not to attend the President's fifth State of the Nation address. Palace press official said the administration remains focused on the president's message rather than the absence of some guests. The palace also added that participation is a matter of personal choice.
Hindi naman po sila kawalan. Ang Pangulo po ang importante dito at yung mga opisyal na interesadong makinig kay Pangulo. So yung iba mga opisyal na wala namang balak makinig sa Pangulo ay hindi natin pipilitin.
Don't go away. 13 News will be right back after a few important reminders.
Tanggalin na natin ang systems laws na pinapasa sa consumer. We, the people, we demand for the immediate amendment of the EPIRA para mapaganda pa ang suporta natin sa mga batang may developmental disabilities. Dodoblehin natin ang PhilHealth package para sa pagpapatingin sa therapy.
Pangarap mong maging milyonaryo? Sa PCSO Lotto, magkakatotoo! Mas pinasaya, mas pinabongga, mas pinalaki ang mga jackpot prizes. Araw-araw ang bola, kaya more chances of winning sa PCSO Lottery Draws. Lunes hanggang Linggo, tuwing 2 p.m., 5 p.m., and 9 p.m. Balitang nakala.
Mamulat ng kanyang mga si Presidente at si
binantayan, sinuri, nilatag at inihayag. 13 sa tanghali kasama sina Greg Gregorio, Naj Miravalles at Zai Chua. 13 sa tanghali sa ganap na alauna dito sa IBC 13. Are you ready to open your mind? We're tackling topics others won't.
There should always be that collaboration between families, the communities, the school.
Most of the household, ayaw nilang pag-usapan anything about sex.
Or parang parang na-attract sila dun sa industry namin na tigil nyo yan.
It's time to stop the stigma and start the science.
Because here on Naked Minds, we break the silence.
Naked Minds, every Friday, 10 p.m. on IBC 13.
President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. has delivered his longest State of the Nation address so far, lasting 1 hour and 26 minutes as he laid out his administration's key accomplishments, new priorities, and commitment to accountability, economic growth, and public service.
The SONA also put the spotlight on the government's anti-corruption drive, with the president announcing multiple cases set to be filed in connection with the alleged flood control anomaly. IBC News correspondent Harley Valbuena has the full details of this year's SONA.
At dumating na tayo sa punto na ayon sa Ombudsman ay malapit na ang paghain ng patong-patong na kaso laban sa dating speaker. Masakit man sa akin ito, ngunit kailangan nating gawin ang tama.
President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. opened his fifth State of the Nation address with a strong message, echoing his iconic line, "Mahiya naman kayo," from last year's flood control scandal. As promised, the president said thorough investigations were conducted, sparing no one and following the evidence.
Hindi ako pangulo ng aking pamilya. Hindi ako pangulo ng aking kaibigan. Ako ay Pangulo ng Pilipinas at ang tungkulin ko ay sa inyo, ang aking mga kapwa Pilipino.
Tonight, former House Speaker Martin Romualdez responded, saying he respects the president's statement but insists he is innocent. Meanwhile, President Marcos Jr. also touted that 25 billion pesos from the flood control anomaly were already recovered, frozen, or preserved, with over 800 million pesos returned to the National Treasury. He assured there will be no overpricing in all of DPWH projects. The president also highlighted swift government response to the Middle East crisis through the Uplift program. All agencies were directed to conserve resources and form programs to help the affected sectors, including the repatriation of distressed OFWs in the Middle East. Nearly 58 billion pesos was released to LGUs, enough oil supply secured, excise tax on LPG and kerosene suspended, and cash aid plus service contracting offered to PUVs with discounts and free rides in public transports. Food programs Benteng Bigas Meron Na and Kadiwa ng Pangulo were expanded, alongside support for 2 million farmers and fisherfolk. Additional cash aid was granted to 4-piece members, Walang Gutom program, and other poor and low-income workers. Over 60 billion pesos was allocated for the whole year to respond to the energy crisis.
Sa ating pagbalik tanaw, kaya ko kayong harapin at sabihin na ginawa natin ang lahat ng nararapat upang malunasan ang mga epekto ng krisis. Agarang kumilos ang buong pamahalaan upang tumulong sa mamamayan. Sa katunayan, tayo pa ay hinahangaan ngayon dahil sa bilis, liksi at pagiging aktibo ng ating pagtugon.
For sustainable energy supply, drilling at the Malampaya gas field will continue and nuclear energy production is being revisited. But he questioned the system's loss charges in electricity bills, stressing commuters should not shoulder them.
Panahon na para tanggalin na natin ang systems loss na pinapasa sa consumer. Therefore, we, the people, we demand for the immediate amendment of the EPIRA. And to prohibit charging systems lost against consumers, including the value-added tax thereon.
On the West Philippine Sea issue, the president stood firm. The country will uphold the 2016 Arbitral Award.
Sa mga pang-aalipusta, hindi tayo matitinag. Sa manlulupig, hindi tayo pasisiil.
President Marcos Jr. also praised the successful hosting of ASEAN Summit 2026 and stronger partnerships with ASEAN neighbors. Harley Valbuena, IBC News.
Following the president's directive, lawmakers and guests arrived in attire that reflected restraint and national pride. Gone were the elaborate gowns and red carpet fanfare of past saunas. Instead, muted colors, clean silhouettes, and restrained butterfly sleeves defined the look of the day, moving away from the extravagant fashion of past saunas. First Lady Liza Araneta Marcos led the fashion statement in a blush pink modern terno by celebrated designer Michael Leyva. More pieces from the same designer were worn by Ma'am Audrey Zubiri, Sandra Rocha Araneta, Congresswoman Mica Gonzalez, Congresswoman Ching Bernos, Deputy Secretary Dina Arroyo Tantoco, and Social Secretary Bianca Zobel. The overall scene at the Batasan captured the essence of patriotism, understated, dignified, and aligned with the president's message.
President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. announced that the government has tripled its financial and institutional support for Philippine sports during this year's State of the Nation address. The chief executive recognized the achievements of Filipina tennis star Alex Ayala, who recently reached a career-high WTA world ranking, as well as the Filipinas women's national football team for qualifying for the 2027 FIFA Women's World Cup. The president said the government's investment in sports aims to develop a healthier and more active youth, while expressing hope that the success of Filipino athletes will inspire more young people to pursue sports.
Mahalaga rin ang ating sports. Itinaas natin ng triple ang suporta natin dito. Hindi lamang dahil sa aliw na hatid nito, kundi para sa kalusugan. Sa nag-uumapaw nating suporta kay Alex Ayala, sana ay marami ang maengganyo para matuto at maglaro hindi lamang ng tennis, kundi ng ibang sport pa.
Before we wrap up tonight's newscast, we bring you the results of the PCSO's 9 p.m. lottery draws. For the Mega Lotto 645, the winning numbers are 14, 42, 34, 26, 5, and 37, with a jackpot price of 15 million pesos. For the Grand Lotto 655, the winning combination is 6, 53, 42, 49, 55, 46, with a jackpot price of 97,179,402 pesos and 15 centavos. For the 4D Lotto, the winning combination in exact order is 9, 1, 9, and 5. For the 3D Lotto, the winning numbers are 3, 2, and 6. And finally, for the 2D Lotto draw, the winning numbers are 14 and 25. There is no winner for the Mega Lotto 645 and Grand Lotto 655. Heads up, motorists. Expect a sharp increase in fuel prices tomorrow, July 28. Gasoline will go up by 6 pesos and 80 centavos per liter. Diesel will increase by 7 pesos and 30 centavos per liter. Meanwhile, kerosene will rise by 4 pesos and 24 centavos per liter.
Also tomorrow at IBC 13, expect the turn to the post-SONA assessment of President Ferdinand Marcos Jr.'s 5th State of the Nation address.
An economist and a political analyst are expected to evaluate the president's plans on the economy, social services, legislative agenda, foreign policy, digital modernization, healthcare, and housing as the government moves from commitments to its full implementation. Yes, Angela, so that pretty much today concludes the President's 5th SONA, and
Yes.
there is quite a lot of good
A lot,
news.
considering it was his longest SONA to date.
Yes, and those were the latest from the IBC newsroom this evening.
We'll continue to monitor the stories that matter and give you updates as they develop. I'm Angela C.
And I am William Thio. This is 30 News. Thank you for watching. Good night, everyone.